Welcome to the Moonshot Podcast, the podcast where we explore business growth, inspire innovative marketing strategies, and explore the world of company culture. Now here are your hosts, serial entrepreneurs and best-selling authors, James Philip Arbuckle and Kane Carpenter.
I know you're looking at this number I sent you, and you're like, what the hell did I send you?
Yeah, 0.0001%.
Well, this is like, the random stuff I come up with in the car. I seen something driving one day, and I saw something else online, and it was really, odd. It was obscure, what the hell is this? And I'm like, wow, they got a lot of followers. Like, there's a lot of people into this, and I wish I could remember what it was. That always brings me back to, I had this joke, you've heard me say it, where look, we could start a company tomorrow selling light bulbs, and if we called enough people, we would sell enough light bulbs to have a company.
Mhm.
And I've always felt that way about all products and services, even for things people don't even need. You can sell people things they don't need all day long if you just touch enough people, and customer acquisition becomes in question if you're spending a lot on marketing. Excuse me. But I always thought you could come up with someone out there sells cinnamon toothpicks, and they sell a lot of them. Because, hell, the regular toothpick doesn't get the job done. I need my toothpick flavored with cinnamon. Come to find out there's a market for that, and no matter what it is, I think out of 330 million people, which times that number, you come up with this number in my head of 330 or 33,000 people. There's 33,000 people for whatever the hell it is you want to come up with. The strangest, oddest, most useless crap out there. You could probably find 33,000 people to buy it. I want to invent a birthday candle that doesn't light. And I could probably find 33,000 people to buy it. They may not be reoccurring customers, right? And I started thinking of marketing, branding, and sales. And if you have that mindset of 33,000 people, it's as your base audience for no matter what it is, or you might create a strange kind of music, Kane. You'll find you could find 30 if you could reach them. You could find 33,000 people that would like your strange music, like something, a piano and a banjo and someone beating on plastic wrap. You'll find 33,000 people to want to tune into this.
That's really interesting. Let me kind of steel man what you're getting at here. But are you saying that it's literally put it up or build it, they will come? Or to find 33,000 people, do you have to expect some level of iteration?
I think in this world, it's now tough to do build it and they'll come. You're going to have to do some kind of, like I said, if we just cold call people all day selling them light bulbs, we'd eventually, there would have to be some effort there, but you'd have to understand that grind's coming with, that's part of the process, right? And I see a lot of companies trying to get off the ground thinking that I'm going to make a social media post, to build it, they'll come type of thing. And, or let's just spend a bunch of money on AdWords. And now all of a sudden reaching that 33,000 people is not really going to work because you're reaching so many people. But when you can get the target audiences or grow over time, I just feel like you can sell anybody anything. If you ever look at cults, how did they get so many people to believe in this?
That's a great point.
Certain religions that, hell, not a couple hundred people, not 33,000 people, but some of them got hundreds of thousands or millions of people into certain religions that, let's just say, they're not the old school traditional religions of choice. You got hundreds of thousands or millions of people to believe to that, and that's the mindset. I'm like, man, there's 33,000 people out there that probably feel the same way you do about whatever this is. And I start looking at marketing and sales from that standpoint of, can you you're talking to a company that's trying to get off the ground, and they just don't like believe in themselves, or they don't believe that they're going to get people to buy their product. There's a SaaS company you and I are working on right now that they go, is someone going to buy it? Boom, someone bought it, right? And
Yeah.
that one person like re-energized that whole project. And I never found a good way. It's like this abstract thought, and but it's man, what's a there's an old Henry Rollins stand up, and he's like, no matter what you look like in this world, right? I'm ad-libbing here. You could be, tall, short, fat, ugly, look like a Barney. Like you, if you walk through New York for a day, eventually someone's going to turn around for a second look because they like you. And you start thinking of stuff like that, and um, there really is a market and an audience for everything and everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually really inspiring to think about because, you know, I remember reading in like an old Gary Vaynerchuk book. This was when I was, I don't know, 18, 9, something around there, right? Like 20 years old, reading an old Gary Vaynerchuk book. And if I remember correctly, the whole premise was around everybody should just do what their passion is, because you can probably build up a $75,000 a year salary just, I don't know, to your point, right? Like building wooden hummingbird houses because that's what your passion is, and you are able to find the people if you build a community to do it. I think what you've done here is you've crystallized like how big the world is and how little of the world you need to get to kind of stick to you and your ideas to make that actually happen, right? Like 1/1000% is 33,000 people. Really, like, feel quite empowered here in that.
You're saying it way better than I can because I can't get the idea out of my head. But yeah, I look at, I was always hustling when I was younger trying to make money. Like I used to build log cabins out of toothpicks at Christmas time and like paint them brown and then go like sell them door to door and like family. And if you knocked on enough doors, you'd get people to buy these little toothpick houses because they look nice on your mantle. It was kind of Christmassy, wintry, and the summertime I would grab crab apples off our crab apple tree and put them in brown paper bags and just go door to door trying to sell them for $1, and eventually you would get that grandma who's like, "Oh my god, I used to make crab apple pie down in Nashville." Like, if I knocked on enough doors, I would find, one of the 33,000 people that wanna bake a pie with fork and crab apples. And it's like I just think about that, no matter what it is, there's someone out there that, whether it's odd or strange or not known yet, like, you will find that base. And it might, it's tough, and it may not make economic sense to run AdWords to find these people, but it doesn't mean the market doesn't exist, and maybe it's a slow build. Um, but, like, for anyone that's ever started a company, or you're an entrepreneur, you got a home-based business, you're like, who is gonna buy this thing? I'm like, "Somebody will." Remember the Bang& Apparel thing where I had these, like, funny T-shirts and
Yeah.
stuff, and you're like, "Who the hell's gonna buy this?" And then on the first day, like, we sold, like, 2 grand worth of stuff, 3 grand
Yeah.
worth of stuff, and we're sitting around questioning it, and then it's like, we we really did just sell 5 hoodies that had a white van on it that said "Free tacos" drawn in blood. Like, we just sold those. Like, and you have to, like, kinda have that, like, optimism that there is someone out there. And I think for many things, the audience is significantly bigger. I'm just saying, even if it's strange and odd, there's probably quite an audience out there if you can find a way. And if you're trying to start a business, a product, a service, it's like you have to kind of stay positive and keep grinding away. And like we said before, this takes that one sale. Like, okay, like someone really will pay for this, and that can
Yeah,
change your
validation.
validation, right?
I was wondering, like, did we might have skipped over it, but like, where did the 33,000 number come from? Like, the math there being the size of the US population times by 0.0001%. But we're only talking there about the US, right? If you've got a hobby or whatever, a passion or a thing that appeals to more than just the continental US or the US as a whole, like, and it can appeal to the entire globe. Like that
Yeah.
0.0001% is enormous.
Yeah, like I could find 33,000 people globally to buy candles that don't light. Like, like you think about all the dumb stuff in the world, but you know, it's a poor example. But I'm thinking just the United States, and I came up with that number because I'm like, whatever, 330 million, and I just went like 0.01, nope, too big, 0.0001, too big. And then I got to like, you know, trying to figure out like where when I see this number, like, okay, 33,000. That's let's just run with the 0.0001. But then I'm like, you know, if imagine if let's imagine you're like you're a consultant or something, and have, I don't know, CPG product, something you're trying to sell, and you needed to like only sell that once a year, and your audience was 33,000 people. Could you not build a business on
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
that? And I think that's the case with there's like I buy a lot of cookware and stuff. Like I just bought this like cast iron pan thing, and um they're it's not cast iron, it's steel. Very expensive pan. I don't think they're selling 10,000s of these pans a year. Their audience probably isn't 50,000. It's probably like 33,000. But they probably sell enough pans to that audience to probably make a decent living, right?
Mm. Right. Right.
So again, trying to like find a way to frame it in a different light, but it's a big world, man. And like you said, if you could actually sell the thing globally, imagine. Shit, I bought an axe from Germany once.
Did you?
Like, it was like these like handcrafted like blacksmith, and yeah, how big's the audience for like a hand you know made axe? Like I don't know, but I'm one of those people that wanted
Yeah,
one.
amazing.
Audiophile equipment, like there's certain things that I'm interested in that the market is small, but it exists. And if you can just believe that exists and you push hard enough, you can build an audience for that. Whether it's social media, maybe you're just maybe you write crazy jokes about something, and you'll eventually get 30,000 people to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, just about believing and understanding that it's a big ass world, and just press. Like someone's gonna say yes eventually.
Just press.
Gotta press. Anyways, I'm gonna go press the order button on my DoorDash. Yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks.